it's near enough 7 o'clock, so we'll get things underway. Just a couple of things so we all understand where we're going with this tonight. It's not being broadcast live, as you'll have gathered, because we don't have the radio kit. The reason why is quite simply there was another function in this room this afternoon, and it wouldn't have left the room when our engineers checked it out in time for them to rig it and prepare it for a live broadcast, or indeed to record. Otherwise, we would have been broadcasting this. So that's reasons beyond the BBC's control. I was not going to facilitate this because it wasn't being broadcast. I was asked if I would by Tim Fisher. I said no. I then had a conversation with my masters at the BBC, and I am a freelance broadcaster. I'm not employed as staff by them, and they said, as a freelance, if you want to do it, go and do it. So I'm doing it. I'm not being paid by anybody. I want to make that absolutely clear. I'm here as an independent facilitator and a Coventry City supporter, trying to make this work for everybody's interests. So that's why I'm here doing this tonight, although it's not being broadcast. Now, having observed from close quarters what's gone on the last couple of evenings, you will conduct the business in whatever way you want to, because it's your forum. It's actually Coventry City Football Club's forum, but you're the supporters, you are the club, as we know. And you will ask questions, do what you want. My personal observation, and you can take this on board or not as you see fit, is that when people shout out, as they will, during the course of answers, it doesn't necessarily help the debate, because it interrupts the answer and we go off course from what's being asked. But you do as you think fit as we go through the evening. We have Tim Fisher, the Chief Executive of the Football Club. We have Steve Brookfield, who is Finance Director, although we made the point on Thursday he's not actually a Board Director, that is simply his title as the man that looks after the finances for the football club right now. And they're here to answer your questions. Do you want to say anything before we start? Because it is your affair.
First of all, thank you very much for coming along. A lot of new faces. There are some faces that have come every night. I suspect Jim Davison couldn't have filled 3 nights on a row, but we're getting close. Again, I want to encourage you to ask all the questions you feel you want to ask. For 2 nights now, I've basically been peppered with questions and innuendo and what have you. So the question I'd like to ask you to begin with is for you to tell me what you want for your football club. Being objective, that is. I'm sorry? Okay, so to stay at the Rico.
Okay, before we move on, I'm going to bring a mic to you so you can ask the questions. Do indicate if you want to ask a question. I'm going to try and bring the microphone so everybody can hear it. And by the way, we are running for approximately an hour. That's the way they've been run over the past couple of nights, and that's what will happen again tonight. It's the football club's organisation. That's what they want. Do you want to put your questions, sir?
Thank you. My name is David McGee. I just want to say we just want to have a choice about Sissy, but we haven't got a choice. It seems like we either get liquidated or we stay with Sissy and go on with Paul Appleton and all the strategic things that you're going to do to bully us into staying with Sissy. And I don't like not having a choice. I don't like bullies.
Can I just ask you, in what way would you want that choice to manifest itself? How would you like that choice to be offered to you?
I haven't been given a choice. So it's a very difficult question. I don't feel like we have any choice. We have to either get liquidated or stay with Sissy. All these other bidders and people, they're buying assets that don't exist, and it's very obvious to me we just do not have a choice. And I'm not very good at this sort of thing, but all the questions we've asked you, we've had none. And I'm pleading with you. I'm just pleading with you. Give us a choice at least. It's a democracy.
Tim?
David, you say you're not very good at putting your point across, but you put an excellent point across, which is you feel you want some direction and an understanding of where the club's going. The club isn't going into liquidation. That's a fact. Why would we have got here today if it was going into liquidation? In terms of the choices are very stark. There is upside with looking at a new stadium and getting all the revenues from that, or there is, in reality, nothing more than a capped revenue opportunity at the Rico Arena. But then that opportunity was taken away from us anyway because of the position that the council took.
Tim, can I just throw in a supplementary there? You say there's no question of liquidation, and yet you did talk about liquidation, which is why ACL say they wanted to put the club into administration in the first place. You did use the word liquidation, didn't you?
That's right. So when you have and the expression is no prospect of avoiding insolvent liquidation, that is an expression that's used in insolvency law in effect, something under the sunshine test, where you have to, and in this instance I had to show that through negotiation, and only through negotiation, I had some chance of renegotiating a rent, renegotiating a position at the RICO that was acceptable to everyone. However, on the 22nd of February, I received a letter which said there will be no more negotiations. And as a consequence, I had little, in fact, no prospect of avoiding insolvent liquidation for Football Club Limited. And my insolvency practitioner who was advising me and the lawyers made it very, very clear. As a director, I was about to tread over the line.
But you didn't go down that route, you didn't go to liquidation as we know.
No, what we did was we went to a point, we ended up, it was 13th of March that we received a letter on the mat, which was we were served with an administration order, and subsequently on the 21st, following yet another round of discussions with the council, we then preempted, which means that we actually appointed the administrator and we chose Mr. Appleton. And we interviewed a lot of potential administrators. We had Duff and Phelps in, and they'd just done Rangers, and I met the guy who'd done Rangers. And I do have to say that it was all very regrettable, and a position, of course, today we wouldn't want to be in. Why? Well, we wouldn't have spent goodness knows how many hundreds of thousands on fees, legal fees, to what end? We're in no better position today than we were on the 22nd of March, when we went into court, and quite remarkably, and this is remarkable from a legal perspective, the lawyers of ACL went to withdraw the administration order.
They had to. You can't put two administration orders in.
That wasn't the point that was made in court. So the judge made it very, very clear they found it quite extraordinary, that type of move.
Question from the back here, gentlemen. So you are.
Yeah, John Enters will follow. You've said consistently that we're not going to play at the RICO anymore. Is that still the case?
That's still the case, John.
Right. And you've had various discussions with where we're going to go, the appropriate councils, the Football League, certain clubs, 3 in the West Midlands. Is that true?
That's right.
Police?
Sorry?
The police?
Absolutely, that's the first call.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As a West Midlands taxpayer, I shall be writing to the Chief Constable tomorrow of the West Midlands. I shall ask him to guarantee my safety, my grandchildren's safety, when we go to these games, which is going to have three lots of supporters running about. I'm asking what guarantees he's going to give us. I'm also going to write to Bob Jones, the police commissioner, and ask him, in these days of austerity, if he thinks it's appropriate to be spending money, police money, when you can't get 2 coppers for Carnival of Warwick, to police these games, which will be low attendance, but high risk. And I'm going to assure you it will be high risk, because I know for a fact that a lot of people, a lot of supporters at these clubs, you know, not very nice people, rubbing their hands at the thoughts of us turning up on their manor. Now then, let me push it on a bit. So, one of these 3 grounds...
Sorry, John, can I just answer the question on the police?
No, not yet.
We actually pay the police. The police don't foot the bill, we cover everything.
Oh, what, the police in the towns?
That's right, we have to pay for and underwrite all police costs.
So you will guarantee my safety then?
No, John, that's just not the point, is it? You're talking about costs. What is it?
No,
Underwriting, safety or costs? Which one is it?
No, I'm sorry, it isn't the point. I want to go to a football match and not end up with a nose like a duck's foot, thank you very much. Are you going to guarantee that? No. Can you tell me what you're going to do? Hypothetical. Let's pick a ground we could go to. St Andrews. That's Birmingham's ground, by the way. If we do well and we start taking 4,000 or 5,000 there, great. What if we draw Birmingham in a later round of the League Cup at home? A lot of interest from Coventry, Wembley, blah, blah. We've seen what happened with the crew match. Are Birmingham going to go with the away end, are they? Are they Zulus going to be happy about that?
John,
I'm sorry, you've not thought it through. You've talked out your backside.
sorry, John, you've talked about getting smacked, getting a nose like a duck's foot. You talked about the Zulus. I don't know whether you're a hooligan or a football fan or what.
I'm sorry, I'm 61, I'm told that game, I retired years ago. Listen, all I'm saying is the safety of the supporters should be paramount. And if you take 4,000 or 5,000 Coventry fans into the West Midlands, into the Birmingham area, you'll have problems, massive problems. And I think the police will withdraw their support, and you won't be welcome.
Okay, question over here. Tell us who you are, please, sir.
Nigel Wong from Coventry. You've got 2,000 JSB fans, OAPs, disabled and other fans. Is it fair on a school night, the home fixture, to be in the Midlands or somewhere around the country, to travel back every third week when you've got education the following morning? But that is not responsible. You've also got OAPs and disabled people that rely on other people. Do you think that's fair?